This week we're off to Minas Gerais in Brazil to Carmo estate.
My name is Steve Layton, and I travel the world finding amazing and delicious coffee for you to drink at home. Some make coffee difficult to understand and complicated, but here it's my job to make it easy and fun and tell you what's in my mug.
So this week we're off to Brazil. We were there a couple of weeks ago, but we're going back, and we're going back to the same region, so Minas Gerais. But Minas Gerais is huge. But Tulio is probably classed as a neighbour to Inglaterra that we were at a few weeks ago. But it's about a 2-hour drive. Because that's what happens in Brazil. The size of it is so huge. So to give you an idea, I've actually had to write this down so I could remember the exact number. But it is, where is it? 220 hectares. 1,000 to 1,200 metres above sea level. They grow Mundanovu, Cataí, Catakai, Bourbon, Acaia and Icatu. So like loads of coffees on this farm. Tulio's been doing some really interesting work as well, as in he decided to start giving bits of the farm away to people who worked for him and just said, look, that's your land, you own it, you build your house there, you manage it, all I ask you to do is deliver the coffee to me, I will buy the cherries from you and process them and sell them. So what it did, it gave them a motivation to work harder, to improve quality, to pick better, because when they pick better, they get there and he pays more money for the deliveries, but also give them a pride and give them an opportunity to sustain themselves. Tulio's a fairly forward-thinking guy anyway. Former president of the BSCA, which is the Brazilian Specialty Coffee Association, and really somebody who is very well known in specialty and Brazilian coffee circles. So, really cool guy. You've been enjoying it, and I'm not sure why, but let's hear what Roland has to say again this week in Roland's Daft Fact of the Week.
Alan, have you seen a Roland? Is he through there?
Roland who?
Roland who? Come with me. That must be the one I'm looking for. Hello, Roland.
Hello, Stephen.
I'm trying not to startle you. Do you have a fact for us for this week?
I do. The famous Portuguese author and artist, Manuel Carmo, died in 2015.
It's true.
Okay, so this week we're going to use the Clever Dripper with the Brazil Carmo. I've gone for a fairly coarse grind, going to show you on the screen now. You can see like really gritty, like think about like how you would make a grind for a French press. You really want to feel those gritty lumps coming through. So I've got some freshly boiled water. I'm making sure that I cover all of the grinds. Now I'm going to show you how to make one with the brew guide. Okay, take two. Oi, oi, oi. That's not gone well. Hope you're not filming that. How not to do it. Sorry, I'm trying to do math in my head. Oh, okay. Get rid of that. So we're tared there. Now I'm going to use 300 mils of water to my 20 grams, which is virtually going to be as much as I can really get in there if I want to stir. Because what I want to do is I'm going to give it 2 minutes and then I'm going to give it a stir. So we're going to fast forward. For the fast forward, I have to take the pose. Okay, so we're going to give it a stir and we're going to go. So there we go, 4 minutes. We're going to do that and it's going to drain through. Because it's such a coarse grind, you can see it's dropping really, really quickly. That's going to be drained in just a few minutes. Into our cupboard of doom. I don't know why everything is doom to do within my mug, but it's definitely a doom. And we have, I think that's a bit of an own goal, it's a blank mug. We have lots of different kind of mugs in there.
more than most normal people should have. And that will do. There we go. So, into the plain mug. Now, the first thing you notice when you smell this, it just smells sweet. And I find that with a lot of Brazilian coffees, that they are just naturally full of sweetness. That's why I find them very, very kind of good for espresso-based drinks, because it's very easy to find acidity in espresso, but very hard to find sweetness. But Brazil just punches it in your face. And it tastes sweet. It tastes like Cadbury's caramel covered in white sugar. It's really sweet, like super, super sweet. And I think that's the clever, highlighting that with, it's kind of like the French press, because in the French press you've got the immersed in the coffee in a very long extraction, but it's got the cleanliness of like a Calita or a Chemex, because it's used in the paper. It is an unusual brew method. If you don't have a Chemex, a clever dripper in your arsenal, I would wholeheartedly recommend one. They're not the prettiest things, but they brew really interesting coffees. Back to the coffee. There's a little bit of like a hazelnut stroke walnut on the finish as well. It's very, very kind of got just like chocolatey, nutty, velvety, great mouthfeel to it. I very much hope that you enjoy it as much as I'm enjoying it right now. Thank you for joining me. Do come back soon, and do remember, life is too short for bad coffee. Oh, your voice is very familiar. I knew it was your voice, but I didn't know you looked like that.
That's all for you. I'm just thinking of you.
Blah, 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 blah.